Hi everyone, it's Megan.
And Brittany.
And we are Teach Me ABA.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm reaching my goals. I've been hitting tons of yoga and Pilates classes, so that's good. And I know you've made like a little adjustment because of the heat in your workout goal.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's been watching the news in Southern California, we've got some amazingly terrible wildfires going on, and some of them are actually close to my house. So just because of health issues, I obviously don't want to be breathing that in. I've been waiting later on in the day, especially because it's also been almost 110 degrees in our areas. In a scorcher. And so I've actually been swimming in my pool. I have the luxury of growing up with a pool. So I've been swimming laps in my pool as a means to just supplement the fact that I'm not going out and running. And it's been great. It's been great to have the ability to have a pool, but also just adapt my goal, which we did discuss earlier in our videos. You know, it's all about adaptation, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're still meeting your goal, which I am. I'm still exercising. So it's been great.
That's great. I think that should still count. So yay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the support.
So today we're going to start discussing long-term goals. If you guys have been following us, I think you're aware that Brittany is a graduate student and she needs to graduate so I can promote her. So we're going to start talking about how Brittany can start making nice, fast progress so that she is done by the end of fall semester.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to the support. Being a first generation grad student myself, it's been tough because I haven't really had other siblings to rely on who have gone through the same thing. So a lot of my support comes from Piles and Associates, specifically Megan and Dr. Piles. So I've been very fortunate to be in this particular situation. So it's been great. But now I'm coming on to my last semester, and I definitely need to get done because Megan needs my support. She's put all this work into me, and now I need to give it back. So I'm really excited to just get my work done, and I'm looking forward to, of course, next year, and then taking my exam, and then maybe that'll be another future video is getting ready for the exam.
Yeah, that's a tough feat, and there's lots of work that goes into that too. It's like you put all this work into your graduate degree, and there's still some things that you need to brush up on. I know that I was in my car between kids that I was working with and looking at flashcards, preparing for my exams. So that'll be a fun future series, and I think that'd be helpful to lots of people who are preparing for the exam.
Yeah, exactly. So that probably makes this goal really exciting, especially if you are in the same position as me and you're getting into your last semester and you're just working on your thesis, and it's a struggle. So you definitely want added support, and that's what hopefully we're going to provide here, besides getting me through the long haul of the last semester. And I know I can do it, and I'm super lucky to have support. So I'm excited to show you all my progress.
I'm kind of reliving graduate school right now because I have edits for a publication due to my former advisor. So that's been, I've been working on that project for 3 or 4 years. So that is my goal for today, is to get that sent in. But let's talk about the steps that we need to take to get you done. So for everyone out there with long-term goals, it's kind of a lot different from working on a short-term goal, because short-term goals, we're trying to build habits like you've watched Brittany and I do. We've gotten into our workout routine, and we're just kind of doing the same thing each week. So it's really not complex. But getting a thesis done is so much more complex. There are so many steps that you need to do. Brittany is still pre-data collection. So do you want to discuss kind of what you've done so far? And then we can branch out what you need to accomplish and maybe kind of draw a roadmap for that.
Yeah, so what I've completed so far is I've started kind of the preliminary aspects of my report, which is just getting information about our client, gaining informed consent, which of course is desperately needed, especially in your thesis, and of course in our company as well. So I've gained that kind of consent. I've gathered information. I've completed the VB map, if anybody knows what that is. So I've just completed those preliminary tasks and just kind of getting an idea of what skill or skill acquisition we can work on with this particular client. And so I've gathered up all that information. I've gathered up anything that you would need for the report. So any information about the family, what kind of services they've had before, basically a rundown of this client's life up to this point, especially because this client is just 6 years old. So, I'm just getting all of that information, writing it down in the report, and then writing specifically what program I'm going to be running with them, and then how I'm going to collect that data. And that's pretty much what I've been working on right now. And then those edits have been going back and forth between myself and Dr. Piles. So that's pretty much where I am. I definitely need to get him a draft ASAP. So another draft is what's kind of the first step towards completing that report.
Perfect. So maybe one thing that we think about targeting is the latency between drafts. And I know when I was doing my thesis and working on edits back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
And it just ping pong, really. For all of you who are wondering what it's like, it's literally you send a draft and then you get a draft back and then you send a draft and you get it back. That's all it is right now.
So working on long-term goals, I like to write it out. For those of you familiar with ABA, we call it a task analysis, but basically it's a step-by-step list of the tasks that need to be completed in order to reach this long-term goal. So I think right now you need to get approved, but the steps to getting approved are you need to complete revisions.
Yes.
And I know your advisor well. And so I know that sometimes he has issues with latency getting edits back. And so sometimes you have to manage up. So if you have a task that's relying on somebody else to get something done, providing SDs for them, maybe some prompts, and then of course providing reinforcement when they do send it back. So one thing I noticed in my thesis journey was the faster I got revisions back, the faster my advisor got it back too, because it showed, we had that frequent contact and we were building up a reinforcement history. And then it's just going to keep being a cycle of completing revisions and getting edits back. Then once your project is approved, do you have to propose, do you have to do a presentation where you go to your committee and lay out what you're going to do?
Yes, you're correct. So I am in the process of also formulating my PowerPoint presentation, and I have been practicing in our labs with Dr. Piles and the other cohort members, and I've just been practicing what I would say, how I would present it, and then I keep getting feedback from my peers and from Dr. Piles.
And there are so many steps to the proposal too, like getting your entire committee to have one day that they're available.
Yeah, I think quarantine life makes that a little bit easier because everything's via Zoom because we're all trying to be safe. So hopefully this process will be very different from past graduates, but I think I can make it work to my favor, and I'll have that availability of these video conferences, which is even better and towards my success.
And then even the best of theses, there are some revisions that they request. So then after the proposal, you'll need to make further edits. And then they'll probably be pretty minor because your advisor is very thorough, and I'm helping out a lot with the procedural stuff too. I don't want to go into those details because I really it's a really cool thing, and maybe one day people will be seeing it in a journal. It's so cool. I'm so excited for this.
I'm excited for it too, honestly. It's been such a fun journey already. And so getting to the end of it, I'm amped. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so then edits, and then you get to start data collection.
Yep.
Which will be great.
Yeah, and it's great because as a senior therapist on the case, I oversee the therapist that I will train and the client very frequently. So that's going to make life even easier for going into that data collection and then taking IOA. It'll all be pretty easy by then.
Cool. Data collection, and then you will defend your project, right?
Yep.
Well, then you need to write up your defense, and then you defend it.
Yep.
Which will also be several rounds of edits.
Yes, and then another presentation because I'd have to go back in front of the school committee and a second reader, and then I'll be able to defend. This graduate process is all about edits.
Exactly. So I think kind of where we're at now is what would be best is cutting down the latency of getting edits back between, on your end and on your advisor's end. So what if we make a goal for how quickly you're going to turn around edits? And so as with other goals, we need to have a reinforcer established. And I think we should find like a super effective punisher.
Yeah.
So that we
maybe, I don't know.
As fast as possible.
I'm trying to think of what can be a good punisher. A really good punisher. Oh, maybe, okay. This is going to sound awful, and no animals were hurt in the process of this, but I'm wondering if my punisher should be Boba has to stay with somebody else, so I don't have access to Boba.
Would you actually follow through with that?
Yes, I would make my sister take her. Okay. I think if I explain the situation about me just needing added support, she would be more than gladly, especially my nieces, would be more than happy to babysit her for like a weekend or a couple of days. If that was my punisher, I would just hand her off. Yeah.
And then what is your reinforcer, which should also be pretty strong?
Pretty strong too. Yeah, I think it should be. Okay, think. Ooh, a pretty strong. I don't know how safe this is going to be, but I wonder if I should have it get a new tattoo.
Oh, like at the end of it?
At the end of it, I will get a brand new tattoo because, as you can tell, I love expressing myself through tattoos, and that would be a lot of fun to be able to do it. So, and the tattoo shops around here in Southern California are open. I do have a special tattoo artist that I go to who is currently only taking appointments one at a time, so I'm being very safe and cautious with everything going on. But yeah, I think that would be a really fun reinforcer. I can finally get my rat. Yeah, for anyone who knows ABA history, knows I want to get the rat is always right on my arm or something, and that would be awesome to get. I would definitely work towards that.
Right. I want to get my Skinner citation too. So maybe once I get this sent in and approved, then I'll get my little VB citation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a great idea. I like this reinforcer a lot.
How about short-term reinforcers for when you hit each deadline? Because what I think we should do is set up frequent deadlines, like a weekly thing.
Yeah. I agree. I think short-term ones could be, this is going to be tough.
I use cheese and crackers. I would get fancy cheese and crackers, and like I was like eating really healthy and on the paleo diet, and so that was like a special treat for me when I was working on my thesis.
Okay.
I think like everyone knew that I was the cheese girl.
Yeah, I think okay. So I also enjoy craft beers, and so I guess a good reinforcer would be if I make the deadline, then I will be able to purchase a craft beer.
Perfect. I'd work for that too. I love that.
Right? And then also a good punisher, because then I will make sure that I cannot drink my craft beer. I won't be able to drink on my time off. Yeah, so I think that's a great reinforcer and a great punisher. If I go ahead and get my edits done and turned in, I will be able to celebrate with a craft beer, and if not, I won't be able to drink.
Perfect. How long do you want to give yourself to get edits done?
I think weekly I can get it done.
A week? Okay.
Yeah, I want to give myself a week.
And then you'll nag your advisor midweek. Hi, Megan and I have this goal, and I can't drink any beer if you don't get edits back to me.
Yeah, I'll send him a text reminder and just say, hi, just checking in. If you can take a look at my edits, set.
And then you'll get them back, and then another week turnaround.
Yep, and I have a week turnaround.
And if you can get it done faster in a week, that'll speed up. Yeah. I know, it's like I just got to the point where it's like, okay, I don't want to pay for another semester of school. I want to get this project done. And I was turning around 2-3 days. So, and it starts like as you get closer to your proposal and your defense, the edits get a lot faster because there's not so much to fix, you know? At first you're going through and it's just like, oh, like every sentence has a comment.
Yeah,
And then it starts
overwhelming.
getting like, yeah.
I know it's all for the best of helping my client and then just getting myself done with school and just learning more and being able to make what I've learned applicable to my clients when I'm the supervisor and I have to be in charge of overseeing my therapist. So I think it also helps to have, you know, those kinds of things in my head to help me be more motivated and say, hey, come on, you're almost there. It's the last leg. You can do it. You've got so much support and I can use ABA to help me out.
Yay. Effective reinforcers and punishers.
Yes, they are very, very, very effective, especially if I have to give up boba for a couple of days.
I know. I would really struggle to give up my dog. So even though he's a lot more work now that I'm like cooking his dog food.
Oh, right. All right. Thank
Perfect.
you. It feels a lot better having all of this kind of just planned out, and I have my accountability buddy getting through those steps and keeping motivated and getting it all done. I will appreciate all the support and all the tips.
Perfect. Yay.
All right, well, I look forward to showing everyone my progress. Please, if you've got, questions, comments, especially if you're a graduate student yourself and you find yourself in the same position of just being stuck and wanting to improve, that latency of getting in those edits, turning in assignments to your advisor, by all means, follow us. Go ahead and direct message us if you'd like. We'd be more than willing to help you out. All we want to do is see all of our ABA individuals succeed.
Right. We want tons and tons more awesome BCBAs out in the world because there are a lot of people that need our help. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm so excited, Brittany.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
I can't wait. I already have your graduation gift, or actually when you pass the BCBA exam gift, I already have it because I saw something and I was like, this has to do with being a BCBA, but it also has to do with something that Brittany really likes. And so it's tucked into a folder in my planner. So I never lose it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so excited. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I want to stop carrying that around and give it to you. So let's get you graduated.
Let's get this done. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. All right, so please, if you like and share our video and follow along in my journey, the last leg of my journey, I'm so excited to do it.
Let's all wish Brittany good luck. Yay.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.